So good afternoon, viewers. Uh, we are going to discuss with the management of Crayons Advertising Limited today, as the company is approaching for the IPO and it is going to open in the second and third week of May. So it is very close, and we'll be discussing the details of IPO, the future prospect of the company, the industry perspective, and all. So let me welcome Mr. Kunal Lalani, who is the chairman and managing director of the company. Along with him is Mr. Ashray Lalani, who is the director tech technology and growth, and with him is with Mr. Samir, who heads the company's chief as a chief strategy officer. We also have Mr. Rajat, who is the CFO of the company, with us for this discussion. So welcome, Kunalji, and thank you very much for sparing time. As I know that this is a very long-lived company, it's almost 36 years of incorporation, and it is as old as I am. So how the journey was so far?
Well, typically India has been a growing market, and last 30 years India has really moved from very agri-based and a very third world country to an emerging economy. Similarly, our journey has been also quite much like that. When we started, advertising was a very small kind of an industry, and the entire advertising community used to be out of Bombay. Bombay was the center, and virtually that's where all the advertising used to happen. So we took a shot at that point of time that the north part of the country also will grow in due course. So in '86, when we launched Crayons, we thought, let's do it from Delhi instead of going to Bombay and being in the race with so many giants over there. And I guess over these years, we are happy and proud to say that we have made an impact. And today, as you're aware, that we are one of the largest or the largest integrated independent advertising agency in the country.
So when you say largest integrated and independent agency, what does that actually mean?
So over the years, you see, most of the international multinational agencies came into the country, and they split the entire advertising pie into various activities and into various entities. They split the whole thing. However, we felt that we needed to be still there, and we provide, when we call ourselves integrated and independent, which means we are a homegrown company completely owned by the local businessmen over here, and we provide 360-degree services to our clients. So everything is under one roof. So integrated is the fact that the client doesn't have to go anywhere else. We provide him all the services in-house over here, and we cater to everything on that.
So largest means you are the largest in terms of workforce, or you are largest in terms of your financials? Like, how you are largest?
See, broadly, as an independent agency, we are the largest in terms of our network, B, our revenue, and C, our workforce. All three put together, we are the largest. We are an independent, which means we don't have any international tie-up or any international investment in our company. It's a purely Indian homegrown company. And in that space, we are the largest.
Okay, fair enough. So as an integrated advertisement agency, you are giving all sort of services which is related to media advertising. What all are the services?
Yeah. So our services to a client, depending on his needs, start from strategy, move on to creative, then we do media with them. We also do digital. We provide digital services, and of course, we handle events at a large scale. This sort of takes care of virtually everything in the advertising or communication field that needs to be done.
Okay, so in all formats like TV, radio, print, outdoor events, you are everywhere.
Yes.
Perfect. And what is the recipe which you gave to your client, by which your clients are stressed to you? Like Kajaria is a 15-year-old client, Tata is a old known client. What makes you so sticky?
Well, the fact is the fact itself that we have retained most of our clients over long periods of time shows that we have built good relations by not only delivering to the expectation of the clients, but also behaving or actually acting like an as a marketing arm of those companies. We feel we are an extension of those companies, and that's the kind of commitment we bring to the table. And I guess that's what makes the client satisfied and very, very comfortable working with us. And we've had, there are a number of clients where we've had relations over 10 years, including, as you said correctly, Kajaria, there's been Indian Oil, there has been life insurance, there has been life insurance as in LIC, there has been, even certain work on Air India prior to Tata takeover, post Tata takeover, and so many other clients.
Okay. So, because your business is a kind of service industry, I'll come to Samir. Uh, your business needs a lot of efficient manpower. And what makes you so creative or so efficient that you are able to perform the task and deliver it to your client? Please tell me how your strategy works.
Yeah, so a little bit of history. And advertising used to be fun, advertising used to be entertaining, right? But over the last couple of decades, with so many categories and so much competition, the fun and entertainment has gone out. It has become very functional. It has become very offer driven, product feature driven. So, what we have done is we said that we will look at it very differently. And two of the biggest things that are important in any advertising is people. Most advertising today looks at consumer behavior. And consumer behavior means that here is a product, here is how the consumer is interacting with the product. So my communication should impact consumer behavior. What we are doing is we are shifting away from consumer behavior and we have started looking at human behavior. Human behavior means that we are looking at people, their lives, and not in relation to the product, but how they are living their life, how they are moving forward, what are the needs that they have. Right. So that's where most of the rich insights come from. That's one part of it. The second is insights. Everyone looks at insights. And today, given how dominant Google is, any agency can have an insight into the consumer. As an agency, we are shifting our focus. We are not looking at insights, but we are looking at foresights. We are looking at what are the possible trends that are likely to happen in future. It is not about here and now, but it is what about it's going to happen in the future. So that is intrinsically what we do every time we are looking at a brief. The other thing that we do is we don't just create advertising. We are here to solve a problem. So any pitch or any campaign that we do, it always has a problem statement. There's a problem statement, and therefore creative is going to be the solution. And it's not just I will do a film or I will do a print ad. It comes from a perspective of what is the best way to reach people and impact them. From that point, the creative team that also we have assembled at the agency is it comes with a lot of knowledge. So the person who heads the creative function comes from agencies which were known to be very creative, right? So he brings with him a lot of experience in doing different work, in doing clutter breaking work. The kind of people that there are in the team. So one person, he spent about 15 years of his life abroad. So he comes with a worldview on what is happening. Therefore, when he puts those thoughts into creative, they turn into a very different kind of creative. There is someone else who has won awards at Cannes, which is the epitome of creativity when it comes to advertising. And so he also brings in his own nature. Then we have very young people. So a copywriter who is 23-year-old, but has a worldview which will match probably a 40-year-old. Right? So that's the kind of perspective that we are bringing into creative. So therefore, when we talk human behavior, when we talk these creative people addressing that human behavior, what we get is a very creative output. And that is the focus of the agency, and it will continue to be so. We want to become problem solvers. We don't want to be an advertising agency, we want to be problem solvers. And that is how the agency will grow.
So how many human assets we have, and what is the average age?
So, average age of creative would be about 28.
So it's pretty
And
young.
yeah, it's pretty young.
Hmm.
And as a team and Crayons, we will be more than 40, 45 people in creative team.
Right. Perfect. So coming back to Kunal, you just said that you are a homegrown integrated agency. What competitive edge Crayons have over the international agencies? Like they are giants. How you are surviving?
So you correctly put it, like they are giants. Same way there are even in the Indian business diaspora. If you look at it, there are enough Indian-owned, and Indian-managed companies. Just like that, just the way they are competing with the MNC brands and really succeeding, similar is our situation. So there is a whole segment of client which includes owner-owned, owner-driven businesses, which include public sector undertakings, which include government departments or government agencies. They all need a very, very different kind of a response and a committed kind of a agency support, which most of these multinationals do not tend to provide. So there is that much scope for work, or the kind of clients that we are targeting or we are always in touch with will be typically, we are able to meet their requirement and their expectation. And so therefore that market will always be open for us.
Right. So coming to you, Ashray, the whole world is going towards the digital thing, and advertisement is also not an exception. So how well the company is equipped in terms of your digital presence and digital services, and what is the strength and what is the plan for future? Because you are heading the technology and growth part.
Yes. So recently, we've established ourselves as strong contenders amongst some of the largest agencies in the country. Over the last 3 years, our team strength in the digital vertical, at least, has grown multifold. And we've shown a know-how of performance marketing within the BFSI sector, having bagged the media mandates for State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Central Bank of India, as well as Indian Bank, where we've delivered several high-performing and successful ROI-driven campaigns. Similarly, we've also upped our game in content, having bagged mandates for renowned entities and working with groups like the Tata Group, Adani Group, or entities like the National Skill Development Corporation and MP Tourism, to name just a few. So while doing so, we've also grown our offerings within the digital and technology space and picked up tech-heavy clients such as Soho, cutting-edge super app. And building on this expertise, we've also started integrating technology solutions in our campaign propositions for existing clients, for which we've already bagged 2 prestigious awards this year for Bank of Baroda in the category The Best Use of Technology. And looking ahead, our ambition is boundless. Our aim will be to remain an integrated agency. Like Samir mentioned earlier, while creative content will remain as our core arm and backbone, our technology division will be the key driving force to take the agency to the next level. Our goal will be to enhance our capabilities by enabling each of our verticals and with technology to deliver content in the most immersive way possible across all mediums, while building proprietary software to offer our clients a unique differentiation in targeting and a higher conversion rate with prospective consumers. So I'd say this is not just a statement of intent from us, but a declaration of unyielding commitment to revolutionize the industry.
Perfect. And I've seen that most of the part of IPO proceeds are also going towards the technology advancement and getting lot of technological things assets in the company. Perfect. So, what is the strategy for international expansion? Because I have seen a media release from the company that you are going to have some international acquisitions. What are those plans?
So we've been following a few agencies very closely, and the kind of stuff they've been doing in terms of in terms of delivering content innovatively. So there are a lot of independent agencies which are even today doing a lot of stellar work with a good presence in the Middle East, the US, and the UK. All of these places have a significant Indian diaspora as well, right? So we're looking at potential tie-ups and acquisitions, which will help us tap into a collaborative space, allowing seamless knowledge transfers, access to proprietary tools developed by and also tested internationally, while benefiting the partner agency to leverage our understanding of Indian values and ethos, which, given that every fifth person in the world today being Indian, will prove crucial. So this exchange or presence will enable us to take the Crayons proposition to newer markets and offer customized communication solutions to brands in India as well as internationally, allowing us to grow Crayons' footprint as a diversified Indian agency with an international exposure.
So, what global agency are doing in India, you're doing the reverse.
You could say, yeah.
Perfect. Just a small question, Kunal. It's been Crayons Network. A lot of people were asking why it is not Crayons Limited, it's Crayons Network. What does that network mean?
So the company is called Crayons Advertising Limited. However, we sort of upgraded that to calling it a network because we have a couple of other entities below this which do specialized work, which are subsidiaries of Crayons Advertising Limited. So therefore, we broadly or publicly like to call it a Crayons network, which means we have more than one entities working in the space. So we have specifically one agency, one entity in this, which only does exclusive asset management, outdoor asset management, which means we own the assets in that company of outdoor, which we sell to other agencies, not only to ourselves, but to our clients, but to anybody and everybody. That's a selling proposition we have there. And we have a special media agency out of Chennai, which only does for South India. Specifically, that target market is targeted, and they only do media planning and media execution over there. So that's also a subsidiary of Crayon. So therefore, because there are multiple entities involved, so we call it a network that we are giving services from various options.
But all the financial interests are aligned in the company itself. There is there is no company which is not owned by Crayons and doing the same work.
No. It is all owned by Crayons, and that's how we're doing it.
Perfect. Rajat, coming to you, as we are speaking that there are a lot of activities, lot of verticals. So if you can just give a broad idea of what is the split between the media, what is the revenue coming from digital, and what all are the verticals? Rajat?
I have a question. I think it got hanged. Can you?
Yes, Rajat.
I think I missed the question. I think there was some network issue. Can you please repeat
I was asking that there are a lot of verticals in which company is working. So if you can just give a broad idea of the revenue which is coming from different verticals.
Sure. So, we have traditional media, which includes print, television, outdoor, and radio. So around 60 to 65% of your top line is, contributed by traditional media. Digital is around 10 to 15% of the top line. And there is a increase in the, one of the vertical, which is called event management. So around 20% of this year is,
what was the last one? I couldn't hear that.
Events.
Events. Okay.
Yeah. And then there is a creative and strategy work.
Right. Okay. And I was looking at the balance sheet. So I can see there is a sudden jump in the revenues and in the profitability as well. What could be the reason of that?
So the major reason is the increase in top line. So if you will see last year, full year, we
Your
have
voice
done
is not audible, Rajat.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. So the major reason in increase in the margins is basically if you see the top line has increased. So if you see last year, full year, we have done a top line of around 194 crores. This year, in the last 9 months, ending December 22, we have already done 203 crores of top line. And that too, as I said, the event is increased from 5 to 6% of top line to 20%, which is very high margin business, around 18 to 19% of the gross margin. Then even in media, traditional media, which is around 60% of the top line, there is an increase in the margin from 7 to 8% to 11%. So the strategy is to we acquire new client at higher margin. So that's how there's an increase in the profit margins.
Okay. And will these margins will sustain in future?
Yeah. So as I said, I mean, event management, we are focusing from, we have moved from 5 to 10% to 20%. And we are targeting to, increase it to 25 to 30%. And the margins in event businesses are generally 18 to 20%. Secondly, digital is also growing. And the gross margin in digital revenue is around 25%. So the margins is going to increase. And this will be even, right now we have done a PAT margin of around 6.5%, and we are targeting around 8 to 9%.
8 to 9% in the future.
Right.
Right. Okay. Perfect.
Might I add, let me add this something to this, Kulbhushan.
Yes, sir.
The whole idea is to make whatever growth we are doing, we are not doing for top line. We are actually making sure that whatever growth we will position ourselves for should have a good top line, but also a good gross margin. Instead of having have a very high top line with low margin, we've chosen those areas, or we are concentrating. Even in technology, we want to go there. Like you mentioned, on the event side, on the outdoor side, on the creative side, and of course, media, where we are able to provide better services to the client and therefore have a better gross margin to come in.
So it's like the project gives you more profitability than media and all, and that is why you are focusing on the projects, not just the media. I have seen that Pariksha Pe Charcha event. It was a grand success.
Absolutely. We've just recently done more in this past quarter, also some big events. And we are hoping to do some real large scale ones in the coming year.
Right. So what is the plan in your mind for the company's growth in future? Like, you are doing everything. What you are going to add in terms of business?
No, so the acquisition now, as he mentioned to you, acquisition now obviously is in the high priority area of digital. We need to grow that piece as you understood, the top line maybe just about 10, 12, 15% right now. We intend to take it at least to 30% over the next 2 years. And we, as our claim is also that we want to double our top line in 3 years. So we feel that event, digital, and outdoor and other such activities which we have planned are going to easily take us into that space.
Perfect. So you are saying that you will be doubling the turnover in next 2-3 years, and there is a possibility of that business growth. That scalability is there in the business.
Absolutely. The kind of team and the kind of the team we've been able to create now, that is to take it forward completely.
Right. Anything else which you would like to add in terms of the future visibility? Not the numbers,
one more area. One more area which we missed out. Sorry, one more area we missed out is that we are also looking at bringing in some, expat resources into our system to get a more, as Samir was pointing out, more global understanding and a global reach for that, and we think that we should be able to bring in some resources, international resources or expat resources over here, and give a fresh look to what can be the area of the client would like to would be looking forward to.
Perfect. And if you can just throw a light on your peers, like who all are the industry peers, who are your competitors, and how they are doing.
So there are no in the independent and integrated space. There are no real peer-to-peer comparison. Yes, we are competing with most of the multinationals because they have various entities in different spaces that we are in. So there would be another one entity of, let's say, the WPP group or the Interpublic group or whichever, in whichever space. So whether it's events that be different, for creative will be different, media will be different. And in the Indian setup, the broad ones, there is really none. But for one I can think of is R.K. Swamy would be the only one which would be close to something what we do. And rest, there would be no such direct peer-to-peer. Everybody's offering different services.
Right. I have seen a media release in which R.K. Swamy has quoted that they are trying to eye an IPO at a market valuation of 2,000 crores, and whatever numbers that were in public was almost half of your numbers. So if they are trying to get in public, then that's a very pretty high valuation they are demanding.
Well, I won't be able to comment on it because I don't have inside information on their actual workings. But yes, the figures and numbers I have also seen are a bit perplexing on what they claim and what they are expecting.
Right. If you can just throw some light on the industry perspective, how industry is doing, how industry is shifting, what is the key drivers of growth in the industry? Like you said that Indian homegrown companies and the Bharat story. Anything in that respect?
Yeah, well, as you can see, the Indian businessman or the Indian entrepreneur is growing at a very fast pace, and the Indian economy is also majorly growing. So therefore, the Indian space is very, very attractive right now. And we are expecting a lot more homegrown brands to come in to play in all aspects and all industries. So that is a great opportunity for us to be able to take this forward, and the potential of business is very high on that. Also, if you were to really look at it, the Bharat movement or what our current government is trying to do on Make in India is also really looking like to bear fruits in the times to come. There looks to be a real big push in that area, which all will help us, only companies like us, to grow majorly.
Right. Perfect. So anything from you gentlemen, Ashray, Samir, anything which you want to add?
Just I mean, just to add on to what was just said regarding the industry and the growth that's coming. I think apart from all of the points which were rightly mentioned, one of the major key drivers for growth for us and a big opportunity for us is also going to be the growth in content consumption, which gives us more opportunities and more avenues to actually really deliver more value for our clients, and it creates a larger demand as well for us to service. So there's going to be a major growth there, and according to recent reports and researches that have been carried out, it is said that digital spends are on a year-on-year growth rate of about 40% on advertising. So people are switching their mediums as well, plus the volume at which they are investing, it's all growing. So it's all looking bright going forward.
Perfect. Samir, anything you want to add?
No, I think pretty much everything is covered. But from a growth perspective, I think what Kunal also mentioned, the Bharat story is going to be very big because every other economy is stagnating, right? India is one of the economies which is actually showing growth and is likely to show growth in the future. And that will come from Indian entrepreneurs. right? So that's one big growth story that we are going to be part of. Two is the global footprint that we want to get across. So between the two of them, I think there is a huge opportunity for growth, because that Indian diaspora abroad is something that very few agencies or hardly anybody has actually looked at, and it's a big opportunity.
And your listing will also help you in achieving that scale, and that could also be a great tool for acquisitions. So
Absolutely.
coming back to the IPO part, the investment rationale for my viewers could be that this is the largest integrated independent agency, and the largest one has always that edge of getting more and more of the business from the large entities. That is one. Second, the valuation is very reasonable in terms of the listed peers in India and abroad. So the companies, MNCs who are working in all over the world are trading at a very high multiples wherever they are listed. The other thing is the businesses are growing, India is growing, and the digital presence is growing, and they are acquiring, and they are involving a lot of digital tools in their business. So that is three. And the management bandwidth which they have, lot of people, lot of young workforce, human assets they have in the organization, will strengthen their efficiency, and they'll be able to perform well. So that is how this issue is being pegged and is delivered to my viewers. And I would not say that it is an advice for investment, but yes, we want to showcase this company very well to you. And all of my viewers, all of the investors will be welcomed if they subscribe to the issue. So thank you very much, Kunal, Ashray, Samir, Rajat ji. Thank you very much, and all the wishes for the successful IPO.
Thank you very much, Kulbhushan. We look forward to taking this joint together into the
Okay.
market.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.